just opening statement and thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to get another home win. Our team's performed well here, and I thought that was the case tonight again. And probably at times throughout that game, we played really well. So, I think we need to continue to learn how to play a little bit better in the fourth quarter. How do you protect a lead? How do you play aggressive without, kind of giving up what you'd worked really hard for? But I thought we did a great job in the third quarter out of halftime, really building the lead back, played tough defense, and then finished it off in the fourth.
Every group is different dynamics, and even the coaching staff plays that. How, kind of so far this year, how have you kind of figured out what motivates this team, and how do you get a reaction like you had in the third quarter? You were clearly not pleased, I guess, with how the first half ended. I imagine that was a pretty intense halftime conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it actually wasn't. I got intense a couple times in huddles in the second half there, but halftime it was really just we need to do what we were trying to do a little bit better is really what it was. And I thought that the times in the first half, we talked really about consistency. We need to get it, do the things we're trying to do, but do them more often. And so that was really the message at halftime. And then, I was just trying to work on decision making. We had worked hard to build the lead that we had. I tried, I've really been slowing us down in the fourth quarter, trying to protect leads. I wanted to give them the pace and tempo so they could try to do it. And I thought there's kind of an art to being aggressive and then also understanding, like, we were aggressive and missed, they made. We were aggressive and missed, they made. We quick shot and they made. At that point, at some point in time in there as a player, we've got to recognize we need to make them work a little bit before the next one. And so trying to grow in that and still let them be the players that they are, which is pretty good in open court and in transition.
What does it mean to be 7-0 at home? It's been years since you guys have been undefeated at home. So what does that say about your program right now?
Yeah, I mean, we got a good crew in here, and we have. I think we've learned how to win over time. I think that's still a process that we're learning, but it's always we've talked about it from day one. We want to be good and hard to beat in here, and I think that they have done a nice job of adapting to that and making it something that matters to them as well, not just something that I say.
And it seems like the team has responded really well to this new staff, but what do you think the key is to your team being successful or playing well they are now?
Yeah, I mean, you got to get good players in here. They've got to be talented, and then they've got to be good people that you can push. But this group, there's not a lot of drama here. They play basketball, they handle their schoolwork, and when you have a group of people like that, then you can press them and move them, and I think you're seeing that.
And she was saying before that your staff just puts a lot of confidence in the players. Does that reflect on how well they play on the court?
Well, that's probably, she should probably say sometimes, I think it doesn't always feel like they're hearing what I'm saying on that, but I have a lot of confidence in the players that we have. I think they're a talented group. I think when you look at the success they've had early on together, you can see that. So I appreciate her saying that. We're going to be who we are and build them up and push them at the same time. So we'll be consistent with that stuff, and they're doing a good job of responding.
You've played 11 or 12 players this year. How are you kind of seeing that bench unit kind of shaking out? I mean, Kinley's been a scoring threat there the whole time, but I guess Cheyenne's back up, and Rosie more minutes, had a really good stretch there in the second half. How are you kind of seeing players?
Yeah, I mean, I've had confidence in that group all year, and we've shown depth from day one. And so I think throughout the year it kind of changes. Obviously, Rosie's coming off a great game at Bellarmine, and she was beautiful again in the first half. So at times you have to learn, and you got to ride hot players, and I think she's put in some good work here in the last couple games, and that's kind of a feel thing sometimes for games. But I've got a lot of confidence in a lot of those players, and obviously, we're 13-6 now, and have a pretty good record in league as well. So, it's not like they're, some of them I know aren't getting the minutes they want. That's part of this, but it's not like they're playing behind somebody that can't play. So you just do your best to build everybody up. and then they have to be ready when they're called on. And I think for the most part this year that our bench group has done a great job of that.
What's the I guess, practice intensity with that? Of those players are, I mean, they're fighting for their spots. I mean, like Bree's been in and out of the starting lineup. I'm sure that's a partially matchup, partially how was she in practice that week. What's the intensity level of those?
Yeah, I mean, Bree's been a little banged up is why she's been in and out. She's had a foot thing that's kind of lingered all year, but our practice intensity, every coach would tell you, like, it's up and down a little bit, but they generally practice pretty well. And when you have depth like this, you can get better because they can push each other. And I think that's been an important part of us improving throughout the year too.